My name is Hopi Noel Morton, and I've been in Miami for about 6 years. I came here from New York via Hawaii, and it's been awesome. What I do here in Miami and globally is I help people who help people. I have a consultancy called HOPIWORKS, and I've been doing this for the past 2 years, and we provide strategic planning around capacity building and resources for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs. One of the way womb impacts fertility is that we are trying to help women have a sense of who they are and build confidence in their connection to their sexual health. If you think about it, all of the products that we can purchase in the drugstore or related to our sexual health have to be approved by a doctor. We don't have a sense of ourselves and our own control over these products per se. So womb encourages women to share information, to gather information, and to access more traditional, ritualistic, and alternative medicines related to our sexual health. We do salons and conversations about a variety of healing modalities, such as vaginal steams and something called secret CERES, which is a tool for rejuvenating our hormones and helping women with a variety of conditions that you might feel you need to go to a doctor for, but actually we can start to have a sense of what's going on with us before we have somebody tell us what's going on. So I would say womb is, first of all, about the womb. We conceive where the seed grows. And womb is about information and confidence. So once we have information and confidence, it increases our ability to be fertile, whatever that means. The way my company relates to fertility is really through our work in community and the arts and media. I was privileged to produce a fairly large production of the VAGINA monologues last year here in Miami, and that kind of opened up the door for an intense amount of work with women and the community. And really the conversations that are brought up in that play, which has been produced all over the world to end violence and aggression against women and girls, it talks about the vagina and all the different experiences that women have associated with their sexuality and their humanity. So from there, I met a lot of amazing women and have been involved in women's retreats, and now have started my own initiative called Womb. So the VAGINA Monologues is now a 21-year-old production and play that was originally written by a playwright named Eve Ensler. It's part of a movement called 1 Billion Rising, which has become quite important in these interesting times in our politics. And Eve Ensler originally interviewed over 200 women about their experiences being women, and it all came down to the vagina. And it all came down to whether you were from Brooklyn in the 50s or Chicago in the 70s or England, or whether you were black, white, straight, gay, young, old. We all have similar stories and experiences with our vaginas. So she interviewed these 200 women, and she got these amazing monologues that she created from those interviews, and she chose about 15 of them to create this play. She originally did the play herself and embodied each character, and now it is done as a movement across the world to end violence and abuse against women and girls. And these stories talk about the sadness, the joys, the experiences, the explorations, and the love that is all associated with the vagina and relationships. The way that I got involved with holistic womb healing is because I am a daughter and I am a mother. So being born is the moment that I'm involved. I believe also being a child of the 70s, which was a time where natural health and the sort of bohemian hippie movement was empowering women to know yourself. I was fortunate to be born to a mother who was giving me this information about knowing myself and being comfortable with myself. So being in the Free to Be You and Me era really was my first insight to how important it is to be confident and know myself as a woman and my sexual health. The first steps to a healthy womb, I believe, have to do with being authentic with yourself, acknowledging that there's something down here. We come from a culture that's somewhat head up, so knowing that what we have down here is beautiful, it's all good, and it's not going anywhere. So that helps us have confidence in acknowledging that we might go through difficult times. We might go through confusion. We might go through pain. Women suffer in our culture and in other cultures because of the terrible things that are done to them because they have vaginas and wombs, because we are somewhat vulnerable. So I encourage women to be vulnerable with themselves, to explore themselves. Young ladies, I encourage to know their own bodies before they give themselves over to a man. So the first step in vaginal health is to know your own vagina, to explore your own vagina, and there's nothing wrong with that. We put on our panties and our pants and our skirts, and we kind of are in a world where we're told to, like, okay, that's it, forget about it. But how could you forget about the root of who you are and the root of humanity? Secret CERES is a product and tool that has been, it's going to sort of be going through a resurgence. You can access it online, and you can find this through the web. And also, we'll be having it available here in Southern Florida through women's groups, Secret CERES circles. And it is an ancient Asian formula of herbs and other 100% organic materials that is created into a wand that is inserted in the vagina very briefly. And this ancient tool is not only 100% organic, many gynecologists who know about it recommend that women use this. It is a toner, a hormone stimulant, and it helps women regain a not only tightening, but a cleansing of the vaginal canal and the other areas, including the hormones, which is very important for fertility. So it's inserted into the vagina for a brief amount of time, and then there's a period of where it pulls and extracts. The herbs have an after effect that pull and extract what is no longer needed in the vagina. It can be used weekly, it can be used monthly, and it can be used in times of need. So vaginal steaming is an ancient practice that occurs in many cultures, many Caribbean cultures, South American cultures, Asian cultures, and it is literally the woman has a prescription or a combination of herbs that is put into a steaming vessel of water. These days you can get a vaginal steam either sitting over a steamer, which is placed under a hole in a beautiful vaginal steam chair. There's an amazing woman in Miramar called Cherish V Steam Spa that's doing it here in Florida. And then you can do more of a home steam, which is sitting over a pot of steaming herbs that are specifically designed for vaginal health, whether it be fertility, menstruation issues, or vaginitis, or I would also add spiritual issues. So you sit over this pot of steaming herbs naked with a towel wrapped around you so that you can get the full effect. And those herbs soothe, cleanse, and tighten the vaginal area inside and out.